So you're thinking about moving to Nashville, Tennessee, and you want to know what some of the best cities are to live in around Nashville? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 10 cities to live in, and I'm getting after it right now. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Nashville, Tennessee channel. So if you want to learn everything about what it's like to live here, eat here, sleep here, play here, then click the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified every time I do new videos. I've been getting a ton of people that are just like you that are reaching out to me about making that move here to the Nashville area, and I absolutely love it. So if that's you, please give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to help you on your journey here to Nashville. So city number 10 on my list is a little sleeper city. It's just southeast of Nashville. It takes you about 15 to 20 minutes, depending upon where you're living in the city, to get up into Nashville. Sometimes you can do it quicker, just depends on traffic. But that city is Smyrna. So let me open up the map, show you what Smyrna is all about and where it's located. All right, so here we have the map open. Smyrna is highlighted in red. As you can see, Nashville is up to the northwest, and southeast down here is Murfreesboro. So it's almost halfway in between each. It's a little closer to Murfreesboro than Nashville, but it seems to take about the same amount of time. So what makes this city so great is if one of you works in Nashville, the other works in Murfreesboro, or you travel to Murfreesboro often for things, but then work in Nashville, just because of where it's located off I-24. It has some great new construction home options that are in Smyrna. So you're going to be able to get new construction if you want that, or you can get some of the older homes as well. And so that's where it's located on the map. Now let me show you some of the rankings. So here we have the rankings, and it's rated the number 2 best place to live in Rutherford County, which is that whole county side over there. Smyrna, Laverne, Murfreesboro are all in Rutherford County. So overall, niche.com gives it a B+. They give it a B+ for schools, C for crime and safety, B for housing, B for nightlife, B+ good for families, A for diversity, A- for jobs, and I would give it a flat A because of your location to Nashville. And I would give it more like an A for jobs because of the distance to Nashville and the distance to Murfreesboro, where it puts you. B- for weather. Weather is going to be very similar to everywhere else in Middle Tennessee. B for cost of living, B for health and fitness, B+ for outdoor activities, and a B- for commute. I'm going to say commute is more like a C+ if you're commuting during the top times of day, since traffic on I-24 is some of the worst traffic. Other rankings, the most diverse suburb in Tennessee, it's ranked number 5 out of 103. Best suburb for young professionals in Tennessee, ranked number 13 out of 103. Most diverse places to live, number 14 of 232 in Tennessee. And these are niche.com rankings. However, I have had clients that have moved out to Smyrna and have raved about some of the schools. So you can ask me about which schools they really like. So those are the rankings that Smyrna has. It has good rankings. And as far as diversity goes, it's ranked really high in Tennessee. So if that's important to you, then Smyrna may be a good option for you to pick. Next up on the list is Hendersoville. And Hendersoville is northeast of Nashville, and I'll show you where that is in a second on the map. But one of the cool things about Hendersoville is it's kind of like a boat type of town. You're going to be spending a lot of time on the lake if you live in Hendersoville, or lake type living. So if that is something that's important to you, being able to quickly get on the lake, or getting a home that's on the lake, or just being able to use the lake and have that sort of lake feeling and living, then Hendersoville is a great option. So let's pull up the map and show you where that's at. All right, so here's the map. Hendersoville is right here highlighted in red. As you can see, it's right along the Cumberland River. So you're going to be spending a ton of time boating and that sort of thing on the Cumberland River. You are, like I said, northeast. Your next town out is Gallatin from you, and then across the river over here is Mount Juliet, and then Lebanon over there. So you are going to be in a great location as far as where Hendersoville is. Now let's check out what some of the rankings are. Hendersoville is rated the number 1 place to live in Sumner County. And here are its grades that it has. A- overall, which is great. A for public schools. Everything that I've heard about public schools from online and clients that have moved out to Hendersoville or currently live in Hendersoville absolutely rave about the schools out there. B for housing, A minus good for families, A minus for jobs, B minus cost of living, B plus for outdoor activities, B minus for commute. The commute isn't terrible from Hendersonville into Nashville. It is not that great as well. So it just depends on what time of day you're going to be going. B for health and fitness. That's more like an A minus, I think. B minus for weather. I'm going to give it more like an A minus for weather since you have the Cumberland River to enjoy there. B plus for diversity. B minus for nightlife. I haven't ever heard anything great about the nightlife in there, but you're going to be able to go to Nashville. And then B minus for crime and safety. Other rankings for Hendersonville, suburb with the best public schools is ranked number 11th out of 103. Best place with public schools ranked 14th. Best suburb for young professional ranked number 19. So hopefully those rankings are really good and you like that sort of thing. If you're interested in more about Hendersonville, once again, just reach out. I can share with you a lot more than what I'm sharing in this video. The number 8 place to live in Nashville would be Murfreesboro. And Murfreesboro is located southeast of Nashville, in between, say, Smyrna, Laverne, and Nashville, along I-24. So I will open the map and show you that now. One interesting thing to note is how you pronounce it, and it's Murfreesboro. And it was not easy for me to pronounce it when I first moved here, but I got used to it. So just know that you're going to want to learn how to pronounce it correctly. Here's Murfreesboro highlighted here in red. Murfreesboro is a large town, one of the largest cities in the state of Tennessee. And as you can see, it's located right here off I-24. And then you have 840 that intersects into Murfreesboro, which is going to take you out west to Franklin for the most part, is what you'd be using that for. Or it's a bypass 840 if you were going west to like Memphis. You could take 840 around this way, and there typically isn't any traffic on 840. You can go, easily 80 miles an hour on it without a problem. I-24 is more challenging to drive faster on. And then 840 goes up this way, up to Mount Juliet and Lebanon. And then you'll be able to take that if you're going out east into the Knoxville or Pigeon Forge areas. Now let's check out what some of the rankings are of Murfreesboro now. All right, so here we go. And according to niche.com, Murfreesboro is rated the number 1 best place to live in Rutherford County, and I would agree with that ranking. Murfreesboro is pretty amazing. They have some great places to eat there. We go all the time to eat out there. You have this really cool place that you got to try if you're into fish tacos at all, called Carmen's Taqueria. So you got to eat there, but they have a few other restaurants that you can't find in Franklin or Nashville that are in Murfreesboro. Here are their rankings. Overall, they give it an A minus for public schools. I've heard nothing but good things about schooling in Murfreesboro. B minus for housing, A minus good for families, A minus for jobs. Once again, jobs are going to be in Murfreesboro. It's going to be a good place to get a job since the city is so large and has so many different job opportunities. B minus cost of living, A minus for outdoor activities, C for crime and safety, A minus for nightlife, which you're going to have more nightlife available in Murfreesboro than some of the other surrounding towns, A for diversity, B minus for weather, B for health and fitness, and B for commute. So the commute from Murfreesboro to Nashville is not a great one. I don't recommend unless one of you works in Murfreesboro and you wanted one of you to have like the short commute, that you maybe potentially look closer to Nashville just so that you don't spend as much time on the freeway. But the home options in Murfreesboro are amazing. We'll look at that here in just a second. Other rankings for Murfreesboro: best place to raise a family, number 51 of 228 in America. So that's all across America. It is number 53 with the best public schools in America. And best cities to live in America ranked 67. So as you can see, Murfreesboro has some amazing rankings. Let me jump over to my website, thespackmangroup.com, just to give you a quick idea of what some of the housing is going for in Murfreesboro currently. All right, so I opened up my website, thespackmangroup.com. Feel free to register and then just shoot me a text or an email and let me know, hey, I'm looking on the website so I know that it's you from YouTube. But here are some of the prices. I just did a quick search with homes and condos, and then I did newest. And so I didn't filter anything else out, price or anything. So you can see you can get a 3.2 home for $375, a 4.3 for $449, a 5.4 3,300 square foot home for $629. You get like a townhouse, 3-bedroom, 3-bath for $335, 519 gets you a 5-bedroom, 4-bath home. Here's some new construction homes in the 500 range and 600, and those are super nice. Here's some more townhomes in the 350 range. Here's a 5-bedroom under contract that was 427. Here's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,100 square foot with 769. So you can see it's anywhere from 300 to around 700, and then you're going to be able to find. And then if I do like a quick search just to show you the highest price stuff of a home, you're looking at a 6-bedroom, 7-bath, roughly 8,000 square foot home on 1.2 acres, sold for $2.2 million. And you got a $2 million home, so you can go all the way from the $250,000 range, up to 2.2 million in Murfreesboro. Just depends on the size, the lot, and all of that, and we can talk about that. So hopefully that was informative for you to see the rankings and some of the prices. Next up on the list is Mount Juliet, ranked number 7 on the list of best place to live in Nashville. One of the coolest things about Mount Juliet is they have this center called the Providence Center, and it pretty much has everything that you need for shopping on a daily basis, and maybe some of the other things that you're going to need, but it has restaurants and everything else. All right, so here's the map. Mount Juliet is right here in red. So you have the Cumberland River to the north that you can use for water access, and then to the south you have the Percy Priest Lake, which a ton of people use as well. So Mount Juliet is in a kind of a unique setup that it's in between both of those. So if that's important to you, that's super cool. But as you can see, it's pretty much directly east of Nashville. You just take Interstate 40 out. And then if you went down and around, you can go to Murfreesboro, and you can go either the 40 down to it, or you can go the 40 to the 24. It seemed like it was about the same amount of distance that you could to take either way to go to Murfreesboro. 840 is definitely a nicer drive, but about the same amount of distance. You are super close to the airport right here. You can see on the map. So a lot of people will move to Mount Juliet for the being able to have access to the lake and river, and then also have a quick get to the airport. And before I talk about the rankings, just make sure that you aren't pronouncing it Mount Juliet, which is very common, and you want to say it as Mount Juliet. And so that's just a quick tip for you. Rankings overall, it's number 1 best place to live in Wilson County. It has a A- according to niche.com. Here are all their rankings, of course. B+ schools, B+ housing, A- good for families, A for jobs, B- cost of living, B+ for outdoor activities, B- for crime and safety, C+ for nightlife. I really don't think it even comes close to that. It's not a good nightlife place. Maybe some of the places in Providence might be open a little bit, but other than that, you're going into Nashville for your nightlife. B+ for diversity, B- for weather, B+ for health and fitness, and a B- for commute. Other rankings, best suburb to live in Tennessee, it's ranked 16th out of 103. Best place to raise a family, it's ranked 21 of 232 in Tennessee. Best suburb to raise a family in Tennessee, ranked 21 out of 103. So as you can see, it has great rankings according to niche.com, and I would happen to agree with their rankings from everything that I know about spending time in Mount Juliet, driving around, helping people purchase the properties in Mount Juliet, selling homes in Mount Juliet, everything to do with that. It's awesome. All right, I'm going to share with you just the housing prices in Mount Juliet real quick, just so we have that as well. Once again, this is from my website, thespackmangroup.com. All I did is do a search on Mount Juliet, house and condo, and then sort by newest. And then here we go. We have a 4.3, 2,800 square foot is 609, 4.3, 614, 3.3, 750. That's going to be on some acreage. 5.4, 710, 3.2 for 429. So that's pretty good so far. This home looks really cool. 4.3, 3,251. It's coming soon. It's $1,025,000. 474, 429. So as you can see, it looks like you're going to be spending in the high 400s into the 700s to have a pretty nice home in Mount Juliet, and you can definitely spend over $1 million and Mount Juliet right now on a home. So as you can see, the home prices are kind of all over the place, from the 400s up over $1 million. Just depends on your budget and what type of home you're looking for. So next up on the list is Spring Hill, Tennessee. So one thing I can mention about Spring Hill over some of the other cities on my list so far is I actually have lived in Spring Hill myself. So I've had my kids in schools there. Had my daughter graduate from Independence High School. Nathan graduated from the middle school there called Heritage Middle, and Chase graduated from Longview Elementary. So if you want to know anything about those three schools or schools there, I can definitely share with you on the phone exactly what you want to know about the schools. But we really liked the schools, and my kids thought they were fantastic. And I think that's all you're going to read online about the schools. One thing to note about Spring Hill over some of the other cities, it is split into Murray County and into Williamson County. So the schooling is different in both counties. So the home prices are less expensive in Murray County. They're more expensive in Williamson County. Property taxes are lower in Williamson County than in Murray County, but there's some pluses and minuses to both counties, and we can definitely go over that when you give me a call. But here it is on the map, so I can show you where Spring Hill is. All right, so I have Spring Hill here highlighted in red, and it is just south of Nashville on Interstate 65. To get to Spring Hill, most of the time you're going to go 65 south to 840 west to 31, and you're going to take 31 and then deal with all the traffic that's on 31. It takes you about 40 minutes or so. You can do it in 30 minutes to Nashville if there's no traffic and you drive 80, but that's where it's located. And you can also take I-65 to Saturn Parkway, which is this 396 you're going to see here. And so it depends on which side of Spring Hill. If you live on the Murray County side, which is typically all the homes that are below 396 or Saturn Parkway in Spring Hill are all in Murray County. And all the homes typically north are in Williamson County. There are a few parts that are not, and we can go over that for sure when you're looking in that area. But you're going to kind of get that idea when you see home prices of Spring Hill where it is. Next up is the rankings of Spring Hill. So according to niche.com, they rank it the number 8 best place to raise a family in the Nashville area. They have it A- overall, B+ for schools, public schools, and that's going to be because of both of the counties. B+ for housing, same thing. It's much more expensive to buy a home in the Williamson County side over the Murray County side. A- good for families. That doesn't make a difference on which county you live in. A- for jobs, same thing there. B- cost of living. That's going to be dependent upon which county you live in. B+ for outdoor activities. C+ crime and safety. B- nightlife. B diversity. B- weather. B+ health and fitness. And C for commute. And they nailed the commute because the commute from Spring Hill, because they didn't build the infrastructure necessary, it is not all that great as far as your traffic when you go during the peak times. They are building a new on-ramp to the freeway, to I-65, and when that is completed, I think that'll change everything as far as the traffic flows in Spring Hill. However, that's just going to mean once you get onto 65 going north, that then you're dealing with traffic there. So I don't know if that's going to fix everything. It's just going to make Spring Hill nicer to drive around itself. Some of the other rankings of Spring Hill: best place to raise a family in Tennessee, ranked 23 out of 232. Best suburb for young professionals, 23 out of 103. Best suburb to raise a family, 23 out of 103. So hopefully you like those rankings, and that's part of why we ended up moving to Spring Hill ourselves, and we absolutely love living in Spring Hill. Now let me show you some of the home prices in Spring Hill. And once again, it's on my website, thespackmangroup.com. And I'm just going to do Spring Hill and newest properties and homes and condos just so that you can get a good idea. All right, so I did not differentiate between Williamson and Murray County for Spring Hill, just to give you an idea of these property prices. But here's a 3-2 home, 1,600 square foot, $431. Here's a 4-3, 2,200 square foot for $483. Here's a 3-3 on a 1 acre lot for $500. Here's a 3-2 1,415 square feet, 420. As you can see, we're going down here. Once we get here to a 4.4, 2,700 square foot, 686,000. Here's a 3.3 under contract, 2,500 square foot, 489. Here's one that 4.3, 3,100 square foot, 820,000. So you're going to see that prices are anywhere from the 300s to going to be over $1 million. Let me just see what the most expensive one is currently. So we have this home here, 3.2, 1,400 square foot, 2.7 million. It's going to be on multiple acres of land. And like here's another 3.3, $2 million, but they're trying to sell the 17 acres and make it an investment property. Here's a $1.3 million home. So this will be one of your higher end homes in Spring Hill. So these are kind of some of the luxury homes that are in Spring Hill from 1.3 down. So hopefully that gives you a good idea about Spring Hill. I do have other videos about Spring Hill, and I'm happy to talk to you more about it if Spring Hill is on your list to look at, and I can share with you whatever you want to know about Spring Hill since I actually live there. Next up on the list is Oak Hill / Forest Hills near Nashville. So let's show you where those are. All right, here I have Oak Hill and Forest Hills. And this Oak Hill here is highlighted here in red. Forest Hills is just right next door to it. So they butt up against it. You got Richland Country Club that's right there. So if you're into country club living, it is off of Old Hickory Boulevard, off of I-65. And then it runs all the way up here to Woodmont Boulevard for the city. So it's got some really neat different areas to pick from. And the major advantage to it is going to be the proximity to Nashville, that you are just a hop, skip, and a jump. Quick little Uber ride up to Nashville. You can get there in 10, 15 minutes at most. And that's super cool. Let me show you the rankings of Oak Hill now. All right, here are the Oak Hill rankings. It's #1 best place to raise a family in Davidson County. So Nashville is located in Davidson County as well. It's got an A overall ranking, B- schools, B for housing, A good for families, A for jobs. Because of the proximity to Nashville, that's why the jobs is so high. B for cost of living, A- for outdoor activities, B- for commute, A for health and fitness, B- for weather, C for diversity, B+ for nightlife. Once again, you're super close to Nashville, and that's going to be its big thing. Other rankings: best suburb for young professionals, #4 in Tennessee. Best suburb to live in Tennessee is ranked #11 out of 103. Best place to raise a family, #12 out of 232. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of some of the rankings according to niche.com for Oak Hill. Forest Hill is going to have pretty much the same rankings as it. Might be slightly worse just in a couple of them just because it's a little bit further from Nashville, but you're going to be able to take some of the side roads up to Nashville. Let's show you some of the home prices now. All right, so here are some of the prices. 5-bedroom, 6-bath, 3,500 square feet, 800,000, a 950, a 579, 2-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,209 square foot townhome, 397. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,700 square foot home, 675, 495. So you're going to see a bunch of different prices all over the map in that area. It's going to depend on how old the home is. Is it updated? Does it have land or acreage with it? That sort of thing. And it'll be fun for us to help you find something in Oak Hill or Forest Hills. Next up on the list is one of my favorite towns, and that's Thompsons Station. So let's show you that on the map. So you're just a few minutes drive up into Spring Hill for shopping that Spring Hill has to offer, or you're a few minutes north into Berry Farms and you can do shopping there. There's a Publix and Berry Farms, but you don't have any sort of real shopping in Thompsons Station. They have a post office and a really cool place to eat called Circa that I recommend that you eat at, but that's pretty much it for now. There will be more built, I'm sure, as time goes along in Thompsons Station, but it's one of the cool things about Thompsons Station is that it doesn't have a ton of things. All right, so here we have Thompsons Station highlighted in red. You can see Spring Hill is right here to the south of it. Columbia is further south. Nashville is directly north. Franklin is north of it. And then east is Murfreesboro. So location-wise, you're going to love Thompsons Station. It takes you about 18 minutes to get into Franklin, where you're going to be able to do all the shopping that you want to do, because Franklin has pretty much everything. If it doesn't have it, then either Murfreesboro or Nashville would have it as well. And so that's kind of the location side of it. Let's go ahead and pop open the rankings. All right, here we have the rankings open according to niche.com again. It's the number 4 best place to raise a family in the Nashville area. It's got an A overall ranking, A plus for public schools, which I would agree with. Their schools are phenomenal, and that's one of the big selling points of Thompsons Station is the schooling. B for housing, A plus good for families, A for jobs, C plus cost of living. It is expensive to live in Thompsons Station, but because of the schooling, that's what drives up the home values. B plus for outdoor activities. I would rate that more like a C plus. B for nightlife, B for diversity, B minus for weather, B plus for health and fitness, and C for commute. So the commute can be nasty coming south on 65, right around where the Dave Ramsey building is. It slows up from his building is right off the freeway near Berry Farms. So it's just really Berry Farms south. It can get congested until you get past the 840, and you can't really go around it any faster because the other roads have everybody else using them. So just use your Waze or Google Maps or Apple Maps to give you the fastest route if you work in Franklin or Nashville and you live in Thompsons Station. Some other rankings in Thompsons Station: it's a suburb with the best public schools in Tennessee, number 4 out of 103. Best place with the best public schools in Tennessee, number 5. Best place to raise a family in Tennessee, it's ranked number 7. So as you can see, it's got some of the highest rankings that you're going to find. Thompsons Station is entirely in Williamson County, so property taxes once again are lower, and then that is what helps drive the schooling is Williamson County schools versus some of the other counties. Next up, let's pull up some home values in Thompsons Station so that you can choke that down. All right, so I just did the quick search once again. Homes, condos, newest, didn't sort by price or bedrooms or anything. So as you can see, a brand new $4.4 million home, 4-bedroom, 5-bath, 5,000 square foot home. Then you have a townhome here for $449, 4-bedroom, 3-bath home in Canterbury for $722. Then you have a home here in Avenue Downs for $1.3 million, $844, $786, $725, $719. Here's one under contract, probably sold super fast since it's under 500, but it was $485, $724, $435, $449, $535. So really you're looking at the 700 range to get a home, and then you're all the way up to whatever you want to spend, and then under that you're pretty much going to get a condo or a townhome in Thompsons Station currently. So hopefully that gave you a good idea of some of the home prices in Thompsons Station. Once again, it's a fabulous city, and my daughter went to the Independence High School, which is located in Thompsons Station, and that's an awesome high school to go to. Next up on the list is Franklin, Tennessee, and that's where we chose to move to when we relocated from Southern California, and it is awesome. There isn't anything that I have to complain about Franklin personally. It has really good rated schools according to niche.com and great schools. You're going to find that location-wise, it's amazing because it's closer to Nashville. So if you work in Nashville, there are a ton of corporations that have their headquarters in Franklin and Brentwood, which are right there. Just a lot of things that Franklin has to offer. The biggest downside is just the cost of housing, and that has just gone up and up and up every year since we've moved there. Here's where it's located on the map. As you can see, it's highlighted here in red, and it's located just south of Nashville, north of Thompsons Station, Spring Hill, and Columbia, and west of Murfreesboro. Franklin has all the shopping that you're going to need. It pretty much has everything that you're going to want. It's a great place to live. Let's look at the rankings on it now. According to niche.com, Franklin is rated the number 4 best suburb to live in Tennessee. Overall, it has an A+ ranking. I don't know if I've seen another A+ ranking of any of the cities. Definitely not so far today. A+ public schools, B for housing, A+ good for families, A for jobs, C+ cost of living, that's more like a D+, I think. A- outdoor activities, B- crime and safety, A- nightlife, A- diversity, B- weather, A health and fitness, and a B for commute. Other rankings for Franklin: best suburb for young professionals, ranked number 2 out of 103 in Tennessee. Best places with the best public schools in Tennessee, number 3 out of 205. Suburb with the best public schools in Tennessee, number 3 out of 103. So as you can see from those rankings, it's one of the top rated cities in all of Tennessee, and I'd put it against most of the United States as one of the top cities that you could choose to live in. Now let's show you what some of the home prices are in Franklin currently. All right, quick search here on my website, thespackmangroup.com. Here's a $2.3 million home, 4-bedroom, 5-bath, 6,500 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot home. This one is in the Water's Edge subdivision, and it's 684, which Water's Edge is a little sleeper subdivision where they're still building some new construction that you're going to be able to get, but it goes really, really quickly typically. So you got to reach out if you're wanting to be under 700 or under 800,000 in Franklin, because this is one of the few places you can get new construction under that area. 1-bedroom, 1-bath investment property in downtown Franklin. 288, 675, a million 25, 6.2 million, 789, 925, 599, 719, 1.8 million, 673. That gives you kind of an idea. Let's see what the most expensive one is in Franklin. $65 million. Oh, so you can definitely buy a luxury home in Franklin on multiple acres. Most of these ones are going to be on like 22 plus acres that are over 10 million bucks. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an idea about the home prices in Franklin. And next up on the list is Nolensville. And Nolensville is ranked number 2. I've helped numerous people move to Nolensville. I think they find it online when they're doing some searching, and it's a little bit less expensive than Franklin. So they'll look at Nolensville. I have nothing bad to say about Nolensville. Niche.com and Great Schools have their schools rated really highly. I have friends that live in Nolensville and I absolutely love it. There's some great places to eat in Nolensville. They used to have a place that was like In-N-Out Burger that you could eat there. Well, now In-N-Out Burger is actually coming to Franklin, so you're going to be able to get the real thing. But there still is that place there. There's a great Mexican place that you can eat there. A couple different other little mom and pop places to eat, but Martin's Barbecue is there, and that's fabulous. But let's show you where Nolensville is on the map. All right, so as you can see on the map, Nolensville is highlighted here in the center. It's southeast of Nashville. It is east of Franklin and west of Murfreesboro. So it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. When I used to drive through there when we first moved to Nashville, there was not a lot of Nolensville. It was a lot of farmland. There weren't as many homes. Now they've just put in subdivision after subdivision of these really, really nice homes in Nolensville. But that gives you an idea of where it's located. Now let's check out what the rankings are of Nolensville. Do you think the rankings are better than Franklin? Well, here we go. According to niche.com, number 1 best place to raise a family in Tennessee is Nolensville. It has an A+ as well as Franklin has A+. A+ for public schools, A for housing, A+ good for families, A+ for jobs. I don't know why they have A+ for jobs, because you're commuting into Nashville, Murfreesboro, or Franklin. Maybe because you're in the middle of all 3 of those. B- cost of living, more like a C+. B+ for outdoor activities. B for crime and safety. B for nightlife, more like a C- for nightlife. B- diversity. B- weather. A health and fitness, and C- for commute. So I agree with their commute, because you're taking all these little side roads to get around. And if you're driving north-south in Nolensville down Main Street, it is awful. Some of the worst traffic that I've seen anywhere. So you want to avoid that during the 3 p.m. hour and then right in the morning. Other rankings: best place to raise a family in Tennessee, number 1 out of 232. Best place with the best public schools, number 1 out of 205. Best suburb to raise a family in, number 1 of 103. So according to niche.com, they give it better rankings than Franklin. And I don't know if I agree 100% with it having better, but I would say it's as good of rankings as Franklin. Franklin is a bigger city, so maybe that is what helps Nolensville have better rankings, since it's still a small town. Overall, that's what that is. Let's look at some of the home values now. Before I show you home values, Nolensville has 3 different counties that are in it. So it has Williamson County, it has Rutherford County, and Davidson County, and you're going to see home prices are going to be different in each of those counties. So if schooling matters to you, we're going to need to do some of that research ahead of time and talk about that. But just know that the cheaper the home price, it's going to be most likely in Davidson County will be the least expensive, followed by Rutherford County, and then the most expensive is going to be in the Williamson County side. So here we go, just sorted by newest for Nolensville. $1.399 for a 5-bedroom, 6-bath, 4,400 square foot home. Here's a $1.3 million home, $1 million, 625, 865, 935, 1.2, 1.2, 1.3, 789, 979, 1 million, 975, 674. So you're looking anywhere from the middle sixes to about $3 million to buy a home in Nolensville. It's going to depend on what type of home you want. Do you want it new construction? Are you going to be in which of the counties? All of that is something that I can definitely help you with, and you got to reach out to me so that I can help you. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of some of the home prices, and you're going to really need to be careful when looking because of the 3 different counties, and if it matters which county you're in, we got to talk about it. Number 1 on my list here is Brentwood, Tennessee. So let me show you where Brentwood is. Brentwood sits just below Nashville. So location-wise, it's the best out of all of those cities as far as getting into Nashville. If you work in Nashville and you want a luxury home on a large lot with a large home, Brentwood is one of the top places to pick from. It also happens to be the most expensive city that you can choose to live in the Nashville area. So let's show you where it is on the map now. So here's Brentwood highlighted here in red. One of the things to make note about Brentwood is that it is split into Davidson County and Williamson County. So you're going to see a difference in home values. It's going to be less expensive to live in the Davidson County side than it is in the Williamson County side. And that's mainly due to the schooling. And you need to do some of that research on your own on Great Schools, School Digger, niche.com, whatever website you want to use. But the cool thing about it is how close it is to Nashville and to the airport. So we have a lot of executives that will buy homes in Brentwood because they fly out once a week or a couple times a month, and they want to be close to the airport, but they want to live somewhere where the schools are highly rated, and that is Brentwood to a T. So that's that. Let's show you what some of the rankings are. So according to niche.com, it's the #1 best suburb to live in Tennessee. It has an A+ as well as Franklin and Nolensville, A+ for public schools, B- crime and safety, B+ for housing, A+ for families, A+ for jobs, B- cost of living, A- outdoor activities, B+ for nightlife, B- for diversity, B- for weather, A for health and fitness, and B- for commute. Other rankings: best suburb to live in Tennessee, #1 out of 103. Best place to live in Tennessee, #2 out of 232. Best place to raise a family, #2 of 232. So as you can see from those rankings, it is super highly rated. It's in the top 5 of all the rankings, and all of it. It has, some of the rankings are #1, some were #2, but out of all the rankings in Middle Tennessee, Brentwood is where we almost moved to when we first moved to Tennessee. We ended up settling on Franklin. It had nothing to do with what we knew about Brentwood or Franklin at the time. We just liked the home that we were picking better in Franklin. And it was also close to my real estate office that was like 7 minutes away. And I figured I wanted it to be close as well. So if I have to meet a client at my KW Franklin, then that was super close. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what some of the best cities that you could choose to live in around Nashville. So if I can help you in any way, please give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to, open up the map again, go over the different cities, what you're looking at, what you want. Each city has its own feel, and they're all good for different reasons, whether you need it for great schools or you need it close to the airport or you need land or whatever you're going to need, I can help you with. And until next time, I'm out.